Welcoming Harpreet Randhawa, an entrepreneur, educationist, corporate professional, and a life coach. Welcoming you, Harpreet. Please. Yes, absolutely. Welcoming Dr. Anjali on the stage. Dr. Anjali is an innovator and entrepreneur, public health and social development, founder and president of Disha Foundation. Pleasure to have you with us this afternoon. To your extreme left is Shubhra Srivastava, the CEO of DigiPrima Technologies. And to your left is Harpreet Randhawa, who we just met a few moments ago. And I'd like to initiate this conversation with Shubhra. Welcoming you, Shubhra. Would you like to take the mic? Yes, perfect.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you so much, Women Economic Forum, for inviting me here, and all my fellow speakers and all the guests. I really, it's a pleasure for me. This is for the first time I am attending any such event, and I have been into different things till now, but yeah, from last 4 or 5 years, I am having my own company, and it's such a wonderful feeling. I feel to have your own thing, and starting any social impact or social factor from the people who are just around you. So this gives me such immense pleasure. I have a staff of around 50 people, and when I see them, it gives me such immense pleasure that those people are someone I'm making little bit of betterment for their life. I'm making their lives happy. I'm providing them some kind of the economic freedom. There are a lot of girls I give opportunity to, and even the boys. So they are all in software industry. They are all like, everybody is equal. So I just feel very fortunate to give them some kind of like the economic freedom and betterment in the life. So my topic today is collaboration in the social impact factor. Means how can we collaborate to make the world better when we are in such a position that we can contribute to few things. Just to start with, till few years, like I started my own company around 5 years back, and before that I have changed so many jobs and places because of my the grown-up family to make my kids better, this thing. So I used to search the job, and I used to ask for the job at different places. Like I was in Gurgaon, I was in Vadodara, I was in Delhi. So I used to search the job, and now when I started my own thing, it requires a little bit of there is always a hitch when you start something, that whether it will be successful or not. That is something which everybody feels. But if you are putting in 100% effort, and if you are making your genuine efforts, there is no way. I have seen people they are coming up with the flying colors in certain years only if they are putting in their effort. So now I am at this position that people ask to me, can I get a job? And I feel so happy that I am really able to provide some kind of job opportunity and to every people. And there are institutes, they want to connect with me. There are people who are talking to me, they are into different cities. There are girls who are married into different cities and they want to come here and ask for the job. So this is kind of like an amazing feeling, and when you satisfy some people, then it gives you a lot of happiness, basically. So this is how I started my career, and I would share one incident of mine. Just now we have done one, now coming to CSR. CSR could be in any way. Like it starts from your home itself. It's common social responsibility, or it's a common social sector which we are contributing to. Just take care of, because in India their situations are different. In most of the countries of the world, situations are different. But if I take the situation of India, we have a lot of people around us who need lot of social, economical, like dependency from us. Like if I take example of our maids, if I take example of the people who are working in India for us, so if we make their lives better, it starts from there itself. So I feel like I have throughout my life, I have tried to make their lives very happy, because if I go and donate some few things here and there, it's better like I start from there. The person who is giving me the services, let me start with them. So from there your charity begins, and that can go to any extent. You can find so many other people. There are different, there are so many social causes where you can contribute. So, so what does it give you? It gives you the most satisfying feeling. In India, you have like so many issues which you can take initiatives and contribute to. There are many people who are looking forward for such solutions. In similar directions, when I started my tech company, I got collaborated with Indore Police, and my company is, by the way, in Indore, so I got collaborated with Indore Police. I suggested them to start with an app. There are a lot of such apps there all over India. The different government has taken different initiatives. I started their one app, and we have launched it few months back, and it's called My Thana app. People can connect over there. In any case of emergency, they can. So these are the certain things which gives the people the advantage of technology to make themselves safe and make this a better place to live. Now my whole question, as the topic suggests, the collaboration. Everybody is doing this in silos, like every state is having their own platforms, every state is creating their own technology advancements, and technology can be beautifully used for all these things if we have one collaborative platform. So actually this topic has given me such an thought that why can't we have a collaborative platform where so many NGOs are working, police is taking initiatives, and everybody is doing in their own ways. Some are getting 10% results, some are getting 20% results, but it is not everywhere as a collaborative platform. So if we can create something like a collaborative platform, this has given me a very good thought, and I am really going to create a paper or document. When I was preparing for this topic, so I was just thinking that what is this topic actually means. And then this topic, the word collaboration came into this social economic factor, the social well-being factor, the collaboration. Collaboration is missing. There are hundreds of NGOs, there are police, there is government of India, government of every state wants to do something. Even there is nothing is happening. The girls are being molested, the farmers are being cheated, the animals are being not being what do you say? So this is such a big problem, and we should create a collaborative program. So this forum has given me such a thought to create a collaborative platform, and I will really do something for that, and I'll surely get in touch with you, and it's really thought-provoking. So I started my presentation with something else and then ended with this collaboration word, and which gave me a very good thought, and I'm surely going to do it. So that's it for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I loved what you said about, I think that's yours. Lovely said about that. Today I am enabling jobs and economic independence for women, and that is what is so beautiful. One woman getting her financial freedom is enabling other women to get their financial freedom. Thank you so much. It was very, very nice. Moving on, I'd like to welcome our speaker who just joined us, Deepthi Chandar, who has just joined us. She is the president of Emma France Association, and you'll shortly hear about her work when we call her out to speak. Meanwhile, it is my privilege to invite on the podium now Harpreet Randhawa, who is an entrepreneur, educationist, a life coach, and a corporate professional. Harpreet.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a journey for me, and I'm glad that I'm here on this platform. I've started my career as a primary school teacher, and where I was impacting lives of little children. Gradually, as I grew into my profession, I was heading a school. Sitting on a chair, one could impact students and parents, and in fact, the teachers. Being at such a senior position, I took a plunge and started an initiative of my own, which is called Winspire, V-I-N-S-P-I-R-E. The logo has geese in it, and each geese has a story to tell, because each geese, when changes or exchanges the position, the responsibility gets shared. It's not one person's responsibility. It's everybody's responsibility, and the topic for today is very impactful, where we say the social change has a more impact when it comes to collaborating with people. Of course, in our work, we work with very, very poor students. We work with high-end schools. We work with college students. And our forte is to have an impact on teachers. And it's been now 12 years that I've been running this, and 8 years since we got registered as a company. And the teaching experience goes back to 28 years. So I know for a fact that my presence here definitely has an impact with all the ladies and gentlemen sitting here. When I look back to my own journey, how I inspire so that we all get inspired is, being a student, I played cricket for the country. I was a hockey player, where I even got some reasonable percentages to become a teacher later on, and finally to train teachers to be good teachers. Because I was always looking out for a teacher who could teach me, because I was not a student who could perform very good. So this has been the endeavor so far. And the society as such is made up of teachers, parents, and students. So our endeavor and my endeavor, personal endeavor, is to reach out to each one of them and have an impact, because I'm a hands-on parent myself, a mother of a 24-year independent woman who's a solo traveler as well, and she's a photographer and a filmmaker. So if I have had an impact as a mother, working mother for the last 28 years, and as a teacher for, again, without a holiday that I've been working, and an entrepreneur, that there is a source of income that can be generated for women working from home for us. I don't have an office place because Mumbai happens to be a very expensive city to live in. So we outsource our work. There is a way to generate income. There is a way to generate and collaborate with people. And that's what the innovation is all about. And when it comes to inspiring people, of course, you, me, everyone sitting here has a story to tell. And that's where We Inspire comes in. And I wish you all a good afternoon, a happy lunch, not taking too much of your time. Do have a very a solid impact on people sitting all around you with your personalities, with your aura. Thank you so much. And thanks so much, Harbin, inviting me here.
Thank you, Harpreet, for coming over and sharing your inspiration. Hello, finally I see you here. I'd like to call Nabila Jamshed, who has just joined us. Nabila, we welcome you to the Women Economic Forum. Thank you for joining us. Please join us on the panel. I'd like to now invite Dr. Anjali Borhade. She's an innovator and entrepreneur in public health and social development. She is the founder, president of Disha Foundation and co-founder of Prosino Private Limited here. Dr. Anjali, please come and share your thoughts with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. I first of all thank Women's Forum for giving me this opportunity to participate and speak on this important forum. I would like to express my views as a founder or a head of a social organization, also as an academician, as a public health expert, and also as a social entrepreneur. My journey as a social entrepreneur is started very recently, since last 1.5 years. So these opinions are a mixture of my different roles. And I have penned down some of my thoughts so that I don't miss. And I really hope that, these thoughts I exchange with every one of you here. And maybe at later stage I interact with you and take some more insights for some takeaway lessons for me. So many of our fellow friends yesterday and today have shared their thoughts on the importance of charity and the social investment. So as we all know, the charity is a very deep-rooted and well-accepted concept in India. Everybody wants to do good deeds and good cause, which can generate a goodwill for everyone, or especially for the needy and the poor population within India or even outside India. But the concept and the practice of strategic philanthropy, which is aiming at true, equitable and social change by creating new businesses, which is often referred as the social investment, is fairly new for India. But it has a great potential, especially for India comparatively to other countries. Even Government of India has geared up for the social investment, and very proactively we have set up Invest India, which is dedicated for foreign direct investment. We have Startup India and we have Make in India. And all these initiatives are social investment driven. So what is happening in the social investment sector or in the social entrepreneurship sector? I would like to express my own personal experiences in this matter. Now we know that there are two kinds of social investors who would want to invest into social businesses. The first one are known as the unicorns. Unicorns are generally investments which are given, or the social enterprises who have $1 billion turnover and who are generally focused on like the utility-based businesses. Like, for example, they are investing into getting cab or getting medicines or getting food within 30 minutes of ordering it. Okay, and generally social investors are investing on such businesses where the returns are very sure and the, so to say, it's a commercial. So they are least bothered about what kind of social impact they are generating. On the other hand, there are the different kind of social businesses which are called as zebras, and they are least bothered about the returns. I mean, they also want to get financial returns, but they want to create more social impact. Zebras, yeah. So that could be basically to create equitable society through creating more access or making healthcare or education or other services more accessible to the population. So in coming time, we need more zebra mindset, because that will get more essential.
Connect us to some zebras. We don't know.
Sure. So I am one of the zebra who is trying to develop a social enterprise, especially for a migrant population or migrant laborers who are coming from rural to urban areas and who are trying to serve the urban population as the very, very basic, basically at the pyramid of the society. So they are your maids, they are your car washers, they are your drivers, they are your medicine suppliers, okay? And the women's migration in this labor economy is increasing a lot. So I'm working in migration research for last almost 18 years. Give me just 1 minute. And the women's participation is increasing, and I'm particularly concerned for the economic upliftment of these women, and my business is focusing to do the same. So I think Women's Economic Forum has a very crucial role to play in this. There are big bodies like World Economic Forum or G8 or Aspen Institutes who are now getting into social investment. And I really hope Women Economic Forum also should play a very, very critical role in social investment and creating more zebras. We should have a dedicated women's fund who can fund for the entrepreneurs who want to get into zebra mindset or related businesses. So I think that's my message for Women's Economic Forum and all my fellow friends. And I really thank you to the forum for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali. Thank you for enlightening us of the zebra mindset and the zebra investors who exist. I didn't know about that. I'm very, very pleased to learn because always in the social impact investment, like you said, sometimes the return on money required in microfinance and things like that is even higher than the normal, cost of capital which you take on debt or on from the banks or whatever. So it's very heartening to know that there are investors out there who don't care about the returns. So it's very, very refreshing, and I really take your suggestion in right earnest. Even though we are an NGO and we are family funded, we don't charge any membership fee. We want to include and inspire as many women through the resource of women ourselves. But I want to assure you, my soul sister Paula and Isabel are also sitting here, and I remember a conversation having in Portugal saying, what do we do? What do we do? We have all this resource of women, such talented women. What can we do to create a structure that empowers us economically, whether you create a fund, what can we do? And I want to assure you that we are coming up in the year 2020. It's a surprise, a very innovative model which takes cognizance of what we don't have, but takes full understanding of what we have, is going to leverage our strengths, and is going to empower each and every woman out there who wants to do something. So that's a promise. We are coming up in 2020 with that, and I will make an announcement to that effect in the new year, certainly. I'd like to now invite a very inspiring soul sister who's come all the way from France. Her name is Deepti Chandar. Deepti is of Indian origin. Her parents left for France when she was born there, right? Deepti, you were born there, and they left for France. They lived in Paris. And so Deepti is Indian and French both. And it was wonderful connecting to her because I studied in Paris, so we had a little connection because of that. And Deepti is doing something very interesting, and governments in France and governments in India are now working with her, and that's what brings her over here. She is working with young girls and teaching them to coding skills. Her organization is called EMMA France Association. She's going to talk a little about that. And she already has 15 branches of her coding circles, which are entirely, free for people to use. She does online webinars teaching girls machine learning, and she's looking at creating more branches, more chapters. So any one of you who's interested in doing something in your city, in your part of the world, Deepti will be very, very happy to speak to you. So Deepti, we are delighted to have you here with us. Please share with us about your work and how we can together empower more geek girls. Okay.
Thank you so much, Harbin. First, I would like to say I'm really happy to be here, and it's a pleasure to meet you finally because we've been talking since so long. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on the panel. I am Deepti. I am 25 years old, and I live in Paris. I was born in Paris. I am a developer, so I do, as mentioned, Harbin, I do coding. I work at Google as a software engineer, and before introducing what I did, I think what's going to make sense is maybe I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my background, so it's going to make sense about EMA, which is my NGO. So when I was 16 years old, I had what we call in France a specific meeting that all students should have with the counselor in your school or your high school. And at this time, the counselor asked me, so what do you want to do after? What do you want to become? And at this time, I didn't knew that I'm going to be a software engineer. I just knew that I wanted to work in technical field related to mobile computers and etc. And at this time, I tell her I want to do a job where I will not repeat the same actions, but I'm going to create new things which going to impact billions of people. And she said, okay, I understand. So I'm going to pick some list of universities, then I'm going to give it to you, and please have a look to that. And at this time, she printed a list of universities, private schools, and in these schools, there was only economy, law, medical type of proposal that she showed me. And I said, I think there is a misunderstanding between you and me. What I want to do is, at this time I was having an old mobile phone, like the Sagem old one that you open like that, not the iPhone that I have today. So I saw her, I took my phone and I said, you know, I want to create what is behind these phones. And she said, yeah, I understand, but you know, you as a woman, and women generally, are not supposed to get into technology. This is a field reserved for men, and you should do something which will be, according to women, reachable. So I said to her, thank you so much. It was a great advice. And she told me that it's better to do a job where women can succeed rather than go in a job where women can't succeed, because there is limited possibilities for women to get into workplace. And I was very hurt at this time. I always wanted to work in computers, and I didn't know why she gave me this advice. But at a few years after, I get to know that, and that's also my work I'm doing with my NGO. When I get into, of course, I didn't listen to her advice, let's just be clear. I get into computer science, and I get into one of the best computer science university in France, and it was very tough because the first day when I entered in the university, there was men everywhere. And we were in a promotion of 500 students, and there was only 10 girls. So when you get into this place, you came to know that how women are not yet present to these fields which are shaping the world. And this is so sad, because we impacting on billions of people at the same time, and in just 1 second, and why women's not here. I mean, they should be here, and they should not just use the products, they should create it. So it's absolutely, well, thank you. So it's absolutely what we're doing with EMA, my NGO, is that we were, in 2013, we was only 5 in EMA in my team. Today we are more than 600 working in EMA, and thank you. And the role is here, what we really want to do is to give to women, and specifically to little girls, the equal opportunities that men can have. I mean, technology involving them much fastly that in 10 years, it's going to be very difficult for women to get into this, because it's going to be taken more and more by men. I don't have any issue with men. Men should be here to help us. I mean, my team is composed of 50% of men, and it's super important that men should hire more women in technological field, because when you create a product which is only based on men's expectation, well, unfortunately, 50% of the market, you are forgetting them, and they will not use this product. So basically, it's our role here to give them the technical skills to these girls in order for them to shape the world, and of course, to go forward and be on the higher level and create startups and whatever they want to do. And through this, they're going to get, of course, their freedom, and they can choose wherever they want to become. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deepthi. From the side of the All Ladies League, which is our global network, we have 125,000 members all over the world. We have about coming very close to about 1,000 chapters. We are 900 something right now. So we are very much available to you. We'll be very happy to share about what you're doing through our chapter. Some of our chapter chairs are sitting over here. Very happy to share about your work. Send us whatever you'd like to, and we'll share the word out, whatever link, sign up, whatever. We have a mission million for 2022. So very much there with you. Let's get 1 million girls out there who learn coding. So let's do this together. Who knows, maybe we'll touch 10 million. So let's dream big, as we've all been listening to. And let's work together, like you said, to get the 50% of the world on board on everything. Our next speaker is Nabila Jamshed, who's a public policy specialist with the UN. Nabila, we welcome you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harbeen, and to Women's Economic Forum for this opportunity to speak to you. Okay, I'm going to begin by saying I don't very much like the phrase social impact. And the reason that I'm saying this, okay, let me backtrack a little. I do like the phrase social impact. I'm not sure I like the way that it's been used in the recent past. And I'm going to spend just a little time with you in the next few minutes to say why, and also tell you a little bit of what I do. So as you heard in the introduction, I work for the United Nations, which means that I come from the international development sector. I've also worked in the international peace building space. I was with the peacekeeping mission. I've also worked on disarmament of WMD. So very, very different kinds of experience, which have all led to teach me one thing, which is that social impact can never be a sector, something additional that you do to your enterprise, to your organization, or to your work. It can't be one particular sector siloed off from all the other kinds of efforts we do, and it can't be seen as different from our traditional understanding of what profit is. Which is why, for me, I think what organizations, those of us who are in this space to make profits, those of us who are in the space of trying to change the world, collectively need to do is change our definition of what it means to develop. And this is for two reasons. One, because like I said, we've understood social impact in such a siloed way. The second is the world is changing so quickly around us. All of us know we don't live in the same development space that we did 10 years ago. Our challenges, like climate change, like injustices against women, like nutrition, like health, like education, have never been as borderless as they are now, have never been so, they've never been so interlinked. Today, the internet and the Internet of Things and machines talking to each other have more connections between them than the synapses in the human brain. This means we are at a tipping point in history. We have an opportunity to redefine collaboration, to redefine impact, to redefine what we even mean in our businesses by shareholder value. Why should your shareholder be just those few people on the board who've got money in it? If you are a business or a social enterprise or an organization, an IGO like mine, working in a society, your impact draws from everything you do across the supply chain, across the value chain. Your shareholder is the communities with which you work, the people who work for you. It's the environment in which you operate, the trees, the lakes, the climate in which you are. If you look at urban smog in Delhi, that's very much the people who live in Delhi are your shareholders if you're a business, and you must be responsible towards them. I think, to me, this borderlessness has presented to us an opportunity to also collaborate like never before. So one thing is we are looking at impact and what it means to have an effect in society differently, but we're also thinking of collaboration differently. Now we have the opportunity to optimize our efforts, and I don't just mean collaboration and social impact between, say, civil society organizations or impact investors or those who have, developmental or green bonds. I mean collaboration across the big sectors. I think that the government should be working more, the private sector should be working more with the government, because there's so much opportunity to leverage our common efforts together. I think the UN, multilateral organizations, big corporates, small corporates, startups, young innovators who don't necessarily always have a business backing them up, who don't always have the funding to take, say, a waste-to-wealth disposal technology to scale. I think we need to be working across all of these spectrums, because this is also a generation which is the largest generation of young people in history. And one of our responsibilities in the social impact sector should also be to handhold young people and bring their innovations and their ideas, because they are really standing in the forefront and in the vanguard of technology. The final lesson on collaboration that I have learned, as I said, my experience, a lot of it comes from the peacekeeping sector and the disarmament sector, is that we really can't talk about social impact as a different thing from the larger issues of peace and justice and equality in societies. And I think we need to talk to each other across those two spaces as well. There are no silos between, say, climate change and gender equality, because one of the biggest issues of our changing climate is also indoor pollution, and a lot of women who suffer long-term health consequences because they don't have access to clean cooking fuel. One of the biggest chapters of our struggle to get more girls in school is sanitation, because often a girl is not able to go to school if there is no toilet for her in the school. So we can automatically see this, the sheer scale of our challenges combined with the sheer scale of our opportunities has brought us to a point where we really can't afford to be in any silos anymore. And that doesn't, whether you're public-private silo or a developmental sector silo or, a generational silo even. I think we need to work across a lot of different sectors, redefine what it means to have impact, not in terms of philanthropy, not in terms of CSR alone. Both of those, although they are very important, ways of doing good for the world, but redefine what it means to be a shareholder in our common effort. And that's the one contribution that I can bring from the multilateral and the international collaboration space. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much, Nabila. We couldn't have summarized this conversation on collaboration better. You really highlighted that the whole is even larger than the sum of the parts. So we need to come together in celebration and in wholeness. So this is for all of your voices and all of your journeys. Thank you so much for sharing with us so uninhibitedly and so very generously. Thank you. I'd like to ask if Shreya Bhatia is in the audience with us. Harbeen, I invite you to take your time. We'd like to felicitate these ladies for the work they're doing. I'd like to invite Dipti Chandar to accept her acknowledgement as an exceptional woman of excellence. Shubhra Srivastava, we congratulate you for being an iconic woman, creating a better world for all. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have forks and knives in your hand, please put your hands together. Nabila Jamshed, please accept this honor on behalf of the All Ladies League and the Women Economic Forum as an exceptional woman of excellence. Dr. Anjali Borhade, we congratulate you for the woman you are and the work you do. Calling upon Harpreet Randhawa, as we congratulate you for being an exceptional woman of excellence.